Live standing by.
We'll do it live.
Hello, what have we here?
The shroud of the dark side has fallen. Begun. The
Dad Wars.
has. This is the way.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Hey. Welcome back to Dad Wars. We barely made it. Don't ask. Welcome. We're going to meet up with Ray in just a minute and get caught up on the Bad Batch. It's been a couple weeks. We've had some technical issues at Dad Wars HQ, so we've been trying to iron things out. It's not my fault. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in and sticking with us. And thanks for the likes, the positive feedback, and getting your friends to join in. We really appreciate it. We've gotten some great feedback through word of mouth and through comments and emails. And so that's keeping us going. So, all right, let's get into some clone conversations here. Let me bring in my TV expert and best pal, Raymond. Ray, are you there?
Hello.
I'm still working on my intro and talk up. I'm sure you can tell, but
That's fine. Yeah, I am using the upstairs computer in my stepson's room, but the internet is out in our area, so I couldn't use the webcam or nice little headset with a microphone. So I'm back on my phone.
whatever you're doing, it's looking and sounding great, man. You look
Maybe
great. You sound
and I
great.
used the headphones this time, so maybe it sounds a little better. So
Yeah, coming through loud and clear.
but yeah, just hanging. Trying.
So,
like
little
I said, we would.
Behind
Go
the
ahead,
scenes, though, like on this end, I got up at like 5:45 this morning because I knew we were going to meet up and do a show, a Bad Batch show tonight. And you were getting prepped too. The whole day happened. Everything between, early in the morning till just moments ago when we went on, at least half an hour late.
Mm-hmm.
But you're manically trying to get your internet back up.
Yeah, the internet basically on my end went out. Like the computer was on. I downloaded Skype on this computer, and then minutes later, the internet was gone. So like basically it went out like as soon as I tried to get on it and get it working. So I kind of flying blind here. I can't even see. Usually I watch like the YouTube feed to make sure everything looks good, but I can't see that. I'm only on my phone for now. But yeah, it's like great. I must have restarted that dang modem like 5 or 6 times in the past like 30 minutes. But yeah, we looked it up and it's the whole area is out. So, but luckily we have pretty good regular reception, and I think it looks good it looks good so far from what I can see. So
it just seems like forces are conspiring against us to ever do this. I just believe that Gen Xers aren't supposed to be live streaming, and so everything is happening to keep us apart. Look at that! I like that. That's cool.
I can change my background. This is a teenager's room, so we have all these weird. We can do purple. I think I like the red though.
It's like we have a budget now.
Yeah, I think I like the red.
Let's see if we've got anybody tuning in yet. All right, Luis is in the house.
Luis,
our cultural attaché. We are still, yeah, I love it. We're still gearing up to do a special bounty edition series with Luis and his vast collection and knowledge of street and bootleg art. All really, we're going to be focusing on Star Wars stuff that the guy's got. You won't believe it, but he's just holding out. He's waiting for me to iron out all he doesn't want to come on and be a part of a disaster. He wants to be a part of success. So no, he would take it. He would come on anyway. But
I'm curious about I'm curious about his Star Wars collect, like the bootleg Star Wars stuff. Like I mean, I'm jealous that you can find that stuff up in New York. Like
Yeah.
I know it's probably sacrilege to him, but I have to get my Funkos off Amazon.
You don't say the F word around him. He has a couple. He's got a few. He's not too proud, but that's not what he's about. So
yeah, no, I know.
My gosh, it was just it was a lot of stress to get here, but I'm glad we made it. Do you want to dig into Clone Wars, the Bad Batch,
or do you want to
Clone Wars the sequel?
Before we get started, we should talk about that they officially announced today that there will be a season 2.
Absolutely, yeah. And you told me that, you broke that news to me. I had my head buried in some work I didn't want to do today, and I totally missed out on any of the news of the day. But so was that just like a social media? They just threw that out there, and now we know. I thought they were gonna wait until the final episode 16 of this season. I thought we were gonna get it right there at the end. It's kind of a cliffhanger, but I wonder why they chose to tell us right now. Why do you think that is?
Maybe they just wanted to get it out there. I don't know, but it just like I saw it on some social media thing. I don't know if it wasn't from the official Star Wars social media. It was like someone else, like Bad Batch season 2, and I was like, is this real? And I had to click on it real quick, and it's like an official thing.
It's a press release, right? There's no video or any teaser attached to it, because I scrolled through pretty quickly. Just
that
graphic,
that title card.
Yeah.
The season 2 thing. That's all. I think that's all there is. And they said it's 2022, so next year. I'm guessing around this time next year probably we'll get it. Or maybe I don't know what their turnaround is.
Yeah.
But,
they're probably right this minute animating season 2 or crafting the scripts or doing some voiceover at this point, right?
Yeah.
To keep it going. They probably didn't stop.
I would guess maybe if they already have it going, maybe it's already like well on the way of in production and everything. They just haven't released that yet, since it's coming out in like a year's time. So that's good. It's exciting. A little bit of me was worried that it was only going to be one season, but I'm glad that we get another season with these guys.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't wait to see if we would enjoy it or not. They just knew they had something good. They're just going to keep producing it. You know what I mean? It wasn't even like, let's wait and see how the ratings are or what the feedback is. They're just like, we have a story to tell. We're just going to keep going with the Bad Batch.
And I kind of like that. I think that's just like an overall Disney Plus thing, is that if they have like an idea, that I think a lot of times, especially with Netflix, a lot of shows will get canceled after one season.
Yeah.
And they're like, it sets it up so well for a second season and to go farther, but they're just like, oh, it's not within our, whatever, it's not showing enough people watch this within 2 weeks or whatever. So they canceled after one season. I think Disney and I worked for Disney for a while, so I'm not like, I'm not afraid to say anything bad about Disney. I'm not afraid to put them down.
You're not pulling any punches here.
Huh?
You're not pulling any punches here.
No, but like I do feel like with these Disney Plus shows that they already have like the long game in mind with a lot of these shows. Like I guess they're saying like the low key there might be like 2 or 3 seasons or 4 seasons of low key, and the Mandalorian is like already in the 2nd and 3rd season, and this they already have. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe they have like an overall arc that they're doing like 2 to 4 seasons of this, but I'm sure it's already like in the planning stages, and I think that's really cool. Like that. Yeah. I wish other streaming stuff had more. But with Disney, they own everything they stream basically, so
that's true.
They don't have to worry about there's like, we own it, we can do whatever we want with it. So we can afford to take a chance on something and set up like a long overall story instead of just doing like one season and like, well, that didn't do good enough, let's just go ahead and cancel it. Which
they can take greater risks. So the risk they take aren't aren't such a big deal.
But yeah, it's good. Oh yeah, so let's get into
let
it.
Let me show you real quick. Let me give a little tease here. Hold on a second. And I have to give a shout out to my wife because she's been amazing for through all of this, trying to get this set up. But she got me this.
Unfortunately, I can't see anything.
Okay, so she got me the Havoc Marauder Lego.
Oh.
With all the batch, no Omega, but I got it for Father's Day, and it just arrived just a couple days ago.
Awesome.
And so I was just working feverishly down here on my day job stuff, which actually I like doing. I was just being cranky earlier, in case my boss is listening. But so she brings this big box down, this cardboard, this Amazon box. Is like, I'm just bringing your stuff down for you, because I'm always ordering stuff.
Yeah.
And then she went upstairs to, chase the kids around or do whatever, or, So I opened the box up a little while later, and it was that. And I'm like, oh, that stuff you're complaining about? You got me that, by the way.
That's awesome. Now, does Wrecker, is he...
Let's see.
Did they make him like a bigger minifigure, or is he just like the regular size? Sometimes they beef him up a little bit.
They kind of kept it standard, but they threw on beefy shoulder pads, so he does look bigger. But he's not any taller than the others. I know, but
so
there's
they put
also
like a little shoulder. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
But you get two. Cool. You get two like swoop bikes or two like kind of speeder bikes. You get the Havoc Marauder. It's not like the scale I would want it to be. It's not quite full scale. Not quite to scale based on the minifigs, right? Like you base it kind of on the minifigs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They kind of squeeze in like linearly from front to back. It's got gonky. So
that's cool.
So what we'll do is Saturday, Eloise and I've been doing we've been trying to start up a Saturday morning like bounty show, like just to show and tell stuff. So we did that unboxing with the Bo-Katan helmet. So maybe we'll put these minifigs together Saturday morning if anybody's around.
That's cool.
That'll be fun. Keep it going. And then another Lego quick related story. Then I'm running upstairs. We're already late getting on here. And then I'm running through the kitchen to grab some water to bring back down. And she's like, hey, that kit, she's in our little office by the kitchen. I'm like, what kit? She's like, that Lego set that I told you I saw at Costco. She said, this is it. So she's on the iMac and she points and it's Boba Fett's Starship. She goes, it was only $38 at Costco. I'm like, and you didn't get it. She's like, oh, I just thought you already had it. I'm like, you don't know me. Like,
buy 5 of them. We can.
I know. Just err on the side of caution. Even if you think I've got it, just get it. Just keep the receipt. But so I might be making a little stealth Costco mission trip back. Yeah, but also it's not to scale. Like I think Luis, let us know which one that you have. He's got it still in the box. I think it's probably from 10 or 12 years ago, but it's like a larger set,
like a bigger,
the slave one.
They do like the smaller version.
Yeah, the one at Costco is like the kind of wimpy version, and they also caused such a stir by calling it Boba Fett Starship. But also, this is supposed to be the Havoc Marauder, but they call it the Bad Batch Attack Shuttle. I don't know what's going. There's like, they're not on the same email chain that Lego and Disney. They're just not like. Are they not talking to each other, or they're just trying to keep it so like innocuous? These titles, like Havoc Marauder. That's not offensive. So minimum wage entertainment says Disney just bought the chat section of Dad Wars. So let's see. Anyway, where do we go from there? All right, let's get into it. I don't want to take up too much of everyone's time, but I kind of do. You know me. All right, let's move on.
In the first episode,
let's see.
It's kind of like a quicker one. The more the second episode or the second episode we're going to be doing, the one from last week is like the one that's has bigger ramifications and
we can just
a lot more stuff.
Yeah, we can breeze right through episode 13, which was Infested, which was a fun episode. Aaron and I covered it a bit on the
Yeah, you guys talked about
weekly.
it. So I thought it was a really cool. I enjoyed it, and
it was fun. It was a super fun episode.
And now that we know for sure there's a season 2, a lot of these, we're gonna see that guy next season. The guy with the horns. I forget what his name is.
Yeah,
that's setting up for next season. I did like
the Pikes.
And one of the things, the two, I loved that when he took over the bar, or the pub or whatever they call
the parlor. Sid's parlor.
Yeah, and then they go to the Marauder, and like Sid's waiting there.
She's already in the Marauder.
Yeah, the 2 barflies are in there. What's
your boys are in there.
Yeah, Bolo and Ketch are.
There you go.
They're hanging out in there, which is so funny that they were like, oh, they took over our spot. We're gonna go hang out in the Marauder, and it's also funny that those 2 characters were. I mean, I don't know if it's canon, but remember in the Clone Wars, those 2 characters are imprisoned by the Pikes. They get let out by Ahsoka.
Okay.
In that episode, so it's funny that the Pikes are in this episode, and that's probably the most that those 2 have done in the entire series. Is this episode that had the Pikes, where if it is the same character, they were actually imprisoned by them before. So
they had a reason. They had a real motivation to get back at.
Yeah,
right?
Or it's not the same people. They just, I don't like they haven't really. But it is funny. It is the same character. But
yeah,
I love that they had more to do. They were actually, they had the little popcorn that he was dropping off, and steal the little animal and stuff. That was cool. But like I said, it was a really good looking episode.
Yeah. And the animal Ruby was from a previous episode, right? She was she was something Sid was looking for that they were able to find. It looked great. It was just like your kind of like standard, just like mission, like space mission. But the cool thing was we got to see Sid, a little bit more of Sid doing her thing. And
she actually was.
She kicks butt. She's brave.
Yeah.
She's fearless. She's like, I mean, she's kind of like Rhea Perlman, right? Like,
and I've been watching a lot of
Cheers.
I've been watching a lot of Tears. like running through the seasons of Tears, and just so happens I've been watching It's Always Sunny. So her ex-husband is in It's Always Sunny, and then I've been watching. I'm up to like season 4, I think, of Cheers, and so I get a lot of her. So when I watch it, there was a couple cool things. I like when they first go there, and they're like, "Where's Sid?"
Yeah,
and that one guy like tells him to stop, and then you hear like him getting the crap beat out of him and get thrown against the wall. He tries to stop. He tries to stop Hunter, and then Hunter takes him out. The one thing I guess it. If there's one thing that kind of was like, I don't really believe that, is that they gave up Omega pretty easy in that episode. You know what I mean? Like when they were like, we'll take her until you give us our spice back. And they're like, oh, okay. I feel like
she's like the most valuable thing in the universe. Like,
yeah. And they just kind of like, oh yeah, you can have her. We'll go get her. I feel like that's kind of like, okay, I understand they get the story going so they can do the whole thing. But I feel like if they're really true to character, they would have just wiped out those guys without thinking. You know what I mean? They would have just said, like, we're gonna dispatch these guys and take her and go, and you get like, I know the Pikes are powerful, but they have like a lot of powerful people after them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've got the Empires after them.
Yeah, they have them. I kind of
Kaminoans.
I didn't like.
Bounty hunters are after them.
Yeah, that's like the one thing I didn't like about the episode. They're like, oh, you don't want to mess with these guys. They're like, okay, go ahead, take basically our sister from us, and we're not going to put up much of a fight.
Yeah. That whole thing could have been a ploy just to get a hold of Omega if they were connected to any bounty hunters or the Empire. Yeah, that was a little too easy.
Yeah. And the other thing that may have to do with the guy with the horns. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names.
He's a Dondarian, whatever, I don't know.
And I don't know if this is I just read this But in Rebels, there's that smuggler guy that's I think of the same race that has the horns.
Oh
I
yeah.
can't remember what his name. And I think what I read is that when he talks about his group or his gang, it's like the one horn something. So they're saying is that maybe he's part of the gang that guy sets up later on. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know for sure,
See-
but I just know they said there's like a mention somewhere in Rebels of like the name of his gang is like the One Horn Bandits. I don't know, something like that. You know,
Okay.
not that, but something like that. So
Yeah.
they said it's interesting that this character now has one horn, so maybe he goes on to do his smuggling. You know, he builds his own like criminal empire later on, and it's that guy is in it in Rebels maybe. So it's just something I read, so I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, it could be. They're not. I wouldn't put it past these writers to make those connections.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of the other character that's also the same race that
I can't
he's a
remember
pretty
his name.
prominent. He's a space pirate.
Yeah, he's in a few episodes of Rebels.
Yeah.
Like
He's just like a bad uncle. He's just not
Yeah.
pleasant. But you don't hate him, right? He just like is always kind of looking out for himself.
yeah, you're never sure if he's going to be there or not, but then in the end he stands up with them and fights with them at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can't.
He's like a less affable Hondo Tanaka, right? Like
Yeah, he's not as fun as Hondo, but yeah, he's kind of like the same type of character, like one of those like on side characters in Rebels that were kind of hanging around in the peripheral, like pretty much through the whole show, like off and on. So
yeah.
but like I said, that'd be neat if it was matched up with that somehow. But
Yeah, that would be cool. I wouldn't put it past him. Just really
Who
quick,
knows?
backtracking, because Luis said that the slave one that he has is from the 2014 release.
oh, okay.
You
And
know,
it's like how many
Luis, you and I
pieces
were
is it?
hanging out then, and I didn't get a phone call. You didn't tip me off like, hey, there's. I don't know. Always thinking about myself. Anyway, yeah, thanks for letting us know. That one's probably worth a couple $100 at least.
How
right
many
now.
pieces is it? Does he know?
1,900,
Ooh,
1,996.
that's a big one.
It's a big one,
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, that's probably it. When it was new, it was probably over $100. I'm guessing.
Yeah, so I think it could be, he could probably get $400 or $500 for it.
Is it still in a box?
Yeah, I've seen it with my
Ooh.
own eyes. It's still in fantastic shape.
Got to put it together, man.
I know. I would have ripped that thing apart. All right, let's see.
Anything else from that episode we can think of?
Let's
Trying
see.
to-
Yes, potentially. Hold on a second. I'm doing a little technical side mission here.
right.
Somebody just, besides hitting like and comment, leaving some good comments, could somebody just chime in on the chat just to make sure we're still connected to the chat, because it seems like it may not be. I don't know. So many things to make this work. Live streaming is not for the faint of heart. But I would do it all day, every day if I could. If I could just get it. It's working better now. Like we got the better hardware, so that's helping. But some serious software issues. I
I'm
guess
trying to
it.
think of it.
Oh, good for you.
Okay, so
trying to
it's
think-
working.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can remember from that episode.
Yeah, so we didn't really talk. Yeah, Aaron and I covered the plot points last week. Yeah, mission accomplished. They send the guy packing, and then
But Omega has like sympathy for him, and and makes a friend of him, and so he doesn't get killed and stuff.
yeah,
so,
that's what she
like
does.
I said, I think we'll see him in the future.
Yeah. All right. So you want to jump into episode 14, which is called War-Mantle.
Yeah, it's a big one. Oh, and one thing, didn't we, or maybe you guys didn't talk about it, but it looks like at Disney with the at the Star Wars area, they do sell like that colored popcorn.
The Mantel mix.
I don't know if they,
but they don't call it.
but
Yeah, they call it something
I know,
else.
but it has like it looks just like it, like different flavored little popcorn puffs. Okay, so that's all. I didn't know if you guys. But
One more thing.
We were like, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I should. We should have covered that in the news. But yeah, I heard it just tastes like regular popcorn. There's like nothing else to it.
It's just sprayed on some food color.
Yeah. So now Minimum Wage
$17.
Entertainment says Roland Durand is the Buster Bluth of the galaxy, and he has a theory because we were talking about this, and I would hope that he'll put those clues in the chat so we can talk about it. I only remember one connection. I thought he was kidding at first, but so Buster lost his right hand, right? So this Roland Durand lost his right horn. But there are like 2 or 3 more
little Buster Bluth. I like that character.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the further adventures of Roland Durand.
That's fun. It's funny. I didn't.
So something else about Roland Durand. Now that I'm thinking about it, so Duran, right? And they've already there's already Rio Durant from Solo, right? The Jon Favreau alien character.
Uh-huh.
So that's obviously a Duran reference, Rio Durant. So, but Roland Durand, and it's Duran with a D on the end of it. Roland is the type of keyboard that Nick Rhodes always plays, is a Roland keyboard, a Roland synth. So that's right.
That's funny.
Did we call it?
That's probably where they came the name.
Yeah,
they came up with the name.
Roland Durand.
That's
all right. So I would hope. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, Luis got that slave one, and then we'll wrap it up with the slave one stuff. Jolie, his lovely, I want to say wife, because they've been together as long as Laura and I have been together, like inseparable. It was a Christmas gift. That's a keeper right there. You hang on to her and you hug her tight tonight, Luis. She did 2 things right. She kept you around, and then she got you that slave one. All right, sorry, I keep sidetracking us. All right, let me pull up I have the episode, and we'll see if we can play it without getting copyright strike. Oh, there, we're already struck. No, not yet.
No,
and I had the slideshow. Let me see if I can do a quick rundown of this before we just scrub through. All right, because I took the time to take all these notes. All right.
And I can't see.
Dang it! Yeah, you can't see it anyway. All right.
Yeah.
So War-Mantle was episode 14. We're going to 16. Anybody who complained about 13 being a filler episode or not fun, they quickly changed their tune for this episode. And we call them fair weather fans, and that's not us. All right, so War-Mantle, we open at night. A clone is running for his life. Other clones with hunting beasts are in pursuit. This clone sends out a distress beacon right before he's stunned and captured. Meanwhile, our boys are in hyperspace returning from a mission for Sid. Then Rex Hollow calls them out of nowhere, and he's in a real hurry. He's asking them to track down a clone designated CC-576, who some people might know. He's on a planet called Darrow in the Outer Rim. After some deliberation and steadfast resolve from Echo, they heed the call. Echo was like, we're doing this. He's been in that position before, right? So meanwhile, back on Camino, Crosshair is plotting with Admiral Rampart. The clones are being evacuated. Chief Scientist Nalase and Prime Minister Lamassu meet in private. The Empire has canceled all of their clone operation contracts, so they must gather essential personnel and flee. Clone Force 99 lands on Darrow and follow the beacon. So Hunter hunts, and so the red clone has already been captured. He can tell just by like picking up a leaf and sniffing it. It's pretty awesome.
And that mountain is hollow. He's like, oh, these deer tracks tells me that mountain is hollow.
Okay, all right. So Hunter tracks and leads them to a mountain. Yes, Echo, Tech, and Hunter head for the mountain, and Hunter sends Omega and Wrecker back to the Havoc Marauder to await further instructions. And he got a little sass from Omega. She didn't want to. He was like, hup, hup, hup. So Tech mentioned earlier that the planet was supposed to be uninhabited, so it's very curious. They see an Imperial shuttle land. A peek through a pair of macro binoculars. I had the whole slideshow for this. You would have loved it. Reveals it's an Imperial base inside of the mountain with clones with modified armor. Let's talk about that modified armor in a minute. So it's time to break in and rescue Rex's friend. Our heroes sneak in atop an elevator. The music in this sequence is straight lifts from A New Hope during the rescue of Princess Leia. Echo
Cool.
taps into the base's computer. The report lists 50 clone commandos and 1,000 TK troopers, and Tech replies, TK trooper, I'm not familiar with that designation. They find the prisoner, CC-576, is also known as Gregor, right? They free Gregor and sneak through the corridors and realize they're blocked off at all turns. Gregor reveals he was an instructor training the new troopers. Tech triggers an alarm using a clone. He's trying to use a clone code to get out of there, but so it sets off the alarm. So we see that the trainers are actually clone commandos, just like the ones seen in the 2002 video game Republic Commandos. They're stunning trainees. The Clone Force 99 are stunning the trainees left and right. They're not killing, they're stunning. And they question like, oh, you train these guys? And Gregor's like, I didn't teach them everything. That wouldn't be smart, would it?
Yeah.
So, that kind of explains why the stormtroopers are such bad shots, because they never got proper training. I think that's hilarious. We'll dig deep in all this stuff in a minute. They find a lift to escape. Gregor explains he's trained the clones replacements, individuals who swore allegiance to the Empire, which are limitless supply of bodies. Wrecker and Omega and Gonki are back at the ship. Wrecker is relaxing, Omega is stressing. An awesome firefight happens between the boys and the commando. And one of the commandos, it's apparently Scorch from one of the characters from Republic Commando, who people go crazy for. Yeah. Scorch gives them a run for their money, dealing Gregor a chest wound, but the Batch are in top form in this firefight, and they take him out without too much effort, with stun rays, of course. Hunter finally reaches out to Omega and Hunter asking for a lift. They manage to pick up an injured Gregor and Tech before being pressured to move as enemy ships are coming in fast. Tech takes the wheel and Wrecker mans the tail gun. Tech is an incredible pilot in a firefight, I now realize. They still take some hits and their shields are down. With some help from Omega, Gonki saves the day with backup power, which Omega's been trying to fix for several episodes now. He's a hero. Gonki's a hero. Shields are back online. More daring moves by Tech as he performs a nosedive maneuver as Wrecker finishes off the remaining fighters, at least in that swarm. They swing around for Echo and Hunter. Echo makes a leap as Tech has to again pull away from the gangplank thanks to a fresh wave of enemy fighters. Hunter loses his grip and plummets to the ground below. Omega reaches out, but he is gone. He lands hard. Tech is still trying to evade the incoming onslaught of enemy fighters. They take a hit, and Gonki is fried, so we don't know if he's dead or not, if he's offline or not.
I don't think so.
The Havoc Marauder is in really bad shape, and Hunter can hear it over the comms that all their systems are failing. He survives the fall. He knows his friends are in critical danger and orders them to leave. Omega is crushed as Hunter orders them not to return. He is captured. Back on Camino, Rampart confronts the Prime Minister. He caught Nala Se gathering her medical personnel to flee. Lama Su feigns surprise and says she'll be punished properly with a little wink. But Rampart doesn't care. He wants to keep Nala Se because she's the head scientist and he doesn't have a need for Lama Su. So the doors, he leaves Lama Su with a couple of clones. The door shuts and we assume he gets killed. Cut to Hunter in a cell. Crosshair arrives. Boom.
Boom. Done.
Now I'm sorry. In the future, I hope to have that all with accompanying visuals instead of just.
Yeah.
But we can. You can't. Let me see. I wonder if I can.
I can't see. Normally I'd be able to see, but right now I can't because my internet's messed
up. I'm gonna try something.
Yeah, I thought it was a super fun episode.
Yeah.
And really good, good all around episode. And I think you and Aaron talked about it a little bit. That opening scene when it started, I was like, is this E.T.? Is this it seems I wonder if someone can do you should do a side screen to see how close it is if it's shot for shot for E.T. because it seems really, really close, even the dogs and everything. It's crazy.
The opening. Yeah.
Yeah. thought that
Yeah,
was
so
really cool.
I know those creatures we've seen them before, but I didn't have the time to look them up. But I was just also trying to pick out like Easter eggs and stuff. But yeah, so speaking of like scene comparisons, jumping to the scene where Hunter falls. Aaron sent me. I don't know if he may have sent it to you too, but it's like First Blood. Rambo.
Oh, I remember him talking about that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he sent it to me. It was like, and then it's side by side with Hunter falling, and it's pretty close.
There's, and I know I'm jumping ahead, but that was one of my favorite, like, cool shots. In that, after he fell and he stands up, it does like, it like focuses on him, and like the background is all like blurry behind him, and it's like a really cool, like, shot.
Yeah.
Like, and he looks up, and I think he sees a marauder going away, and then you can kind of see that other ship landing. Like, I forget what it is, but exactly the makeup of the shot. But
yeah,
I was like, man, that's like an awesome looking. It's like such a cool shot,
cinematic,
like,
right?
Yeah, really cool. But a couple little things that like, and maybe you know more about this, but I thought they said there's like in that video game where that character's from the Commando, right? Is that there's like a part in the game where the clones like rebel on Camino, and they were there. I think there's been like people wondering if that's what's going to be, if that's going to happen, if that becomes canon, that maybe in the last episode, the clones rebel against because I guess it's in that game. I don't remember the game. It's been so long.
It's been so long, and I was wondering if you were going to bring it up and get into detail, because your memory has always been better than mine. And
I didn't play like the Star Wars games. There's some games I played a lot, and that wasn't one of the games I played a lot. So I don't know. I think I maybe played that game at your house like back in the day or something, but I don't know if I ever even owned that game. But I remember people talking about it. It was like a really cool game.
It was so much fun. Yeah.
I just know there's some kind of level that's like the clone rebellion or something like that. And I read online that, maybe that's where this is going, to make that part of the canon, that they actually do have a rebellion. And that would totally make sense with what they're leading up to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely. That'd be
in this episode. Oh, go ahead.
No, it was like, it'd be just so genius if they, well, not just really thinking outside the box, if they pulled Republic Commando into the storyline, which they kind of are. I also saw someone else posted Easter egg, quick little montage of Easter eggs that were all related to Republic Commando, and there were like sound effects and visuals. There are things, we should probably link it into this episode, but that show and our cues to Republic Commando. So it's not just like cool. Seeing Scorch and a generic like Republic Commando, but it's like they've integrated other things as well.
That's cool. I just like little, before we get too much into the episode, there's like a couple cool little things that I noticed because I watched it again today. A couple funny Wrecker lines when he's like, when they were trying to convince Hunter, he's like, what's his face? Oh, and now I can see it on the screen. Cool. Oh, yeah. It just went away. I can see it on my screen for a second.
Yeah.
How?
I think it's freezing up my computer though. I have to turn it off.
Okay. Yeah.
It just totally locked everything up. It's okay. We kind of dropped out for a second there. Hang on.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Yeah, so back up just a second. But so early in the episode, like right in the beginning of the episode, for them, Hunter's kind of kicked back, right? In the midship, I guess, and then she's working on Gonki. She's got like a little tool. He's got his hunting knife. He's twirling it, and she mimics his move, right?
Yeah, she tries. She looks at it like for a second. I didn't notice the first time I watched it again. I noticed she looks at it, and then you see her do it, trying to do the little move with her hand, like flip it around, and then he does like this cool move where he puts it back in the sheath.
So
I thought that was
when he puts it back in the sheath, she does the same. She matches him with that. She puts it away. Yeah. I didn't notice that till like the third. I saw the twirl mimic before, but I caught the like when he put the knife away, she put the tool away, like almost in perfect synchronization. It was so funny.
That was cool. And I liked the little her and when they kept on going back to her and Wrecker in the shuttle. And like they were playing some kind of like checkers or chess game or something. And she's like, you'll move. And he's like, I'm thinking, or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Or I forget what he says. And then like later on, she's like teasing him about he's sleeping, and he's like saying he's like conserving his energy or something.
Yeah.
It was like a fun little, like, I love those two characters. Like, it's so, like, I think you and Aaron talked about, and I think we talked about it. It's just so funny how I wasn't like a huge fan of Wrecker at first, but that character has definitely like become like my favorite on the show. But him and Hunter and Omega are definitely like my favorite characters.
Yeah.
But like that character has definitely like grown on me, and he's such a fun, cool character. Like I love the design and everything about him.
I love Tech. I like his attitude. He's probably the least I'm probably the least like him, and if I had to relate to somebody, because he's just so smart and like confident. Yeah. But he's just so cool. He kind of like, I don't know. I feel like we've known people like that before.
And I noticed, and I can't remember exactly the wording, but that one Empire guy is like, basically round up all the clones.
Rampart. Yeah.
And it's like, I know you've been talking about, we're gonna find out like how the clones were, like, since all the clones disappeared, like what happened to them. That seems like it's really ominous. Like he's like round them up. Like are they gonna wipe them out? Are they gonna kill them? Like like it's very like, I'm curious as to what the plan is, because they haven't really led on to that, but it's and even in Rebels, Rebels is like the only time you see 3 clones in Rebels. That's it. There's no other clones around. So it's very, it'll be interesting to see if they talk about if that goes into next season, or or we find out more if it does turn into the clone rebellion on Camino, and maybe that's something that happens to them or what, but it'll be interesting to see. Like I'm excited to see what happens with that in this episode. But what was the other? I'm trying to think what the other thing that really impresses me.
Well, let's talk. We have to talk about Gregor, right? They find Gregor, who we who we it's a bit. Well, Aaron and I didn't even mention it when we talked about it briefly the other night. And we got the call, and I'm like, oh, like that's huge. So there's a couple questions. So it's like, it seems to me that I'm guessing that Rex is on a personal mission to go and find as many clones as he can who didn't, who maybe have defected, or have the ability to be turned, to break away and defect. So it seems like that's how he and Rex and Gregor eventually end up, like on that sandcrawler, like hunting those, or that old Republic crawler walker, like in the desert, just fishing. It's like, I don't know. What I was going to say was that it seemed like, he had to jump off that call in a hurry. So he was in a firefight, or he had his hood on, so he was incognito. Do you think he was after Wolf? Do you think he was trying to rescue Wolf at that point?
I'm not sure. It could be.
Am I reaching? Gregor, is it because it's many years later?
Yeah, Gregor was the one that was kind of like the crazy one, right?
Yeah, and I think he's got an eye missing, right? Like the old version of Gregor, he's got like one of his eyes is whited out.
I think so, and like it's funny.
His voice
there is
sounds
like
similar.
There's a little bit of his like he's not like full crazy like he was in Rebels, but there is like a little hint of it. There's a couple times when he like, you get like that little laugh in there. You know what I mean? Like they kind of hint at it a little bit. Like he hasn't gone fully down that path yet, but you can see it where it's starting. So it took me a minute to figure out like, oh yeah, that's Gregor. I was like, I know that name, and then it took me a second to figure it out. But I thought that was kind of neat that they're one of the few clones that we see in the future that I'm sure I wonder if they'll have something with who's the other one? You just said his name. I can't remember.
Wolf. Yeah.
Wolf. Yeah. I wonder if that'll be like next season or maybe the end of the season. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen in the next couple episodes, but it could be.
We can speculate. So I was going to bring up the the armor, like the modified clone armor for the trainees. That it actually, if you look at it, I know you can't see the screen, but for our audience, there's a commando too. Okay, so like it's got kind of like that shape, the top part of the helmet. It's like stormtrooper mask. The top is like Ezra's like cadet training. Mm-hmm. Remember that cadet?
Yeah, like the little thing in the eyes.
Yeah, but the shape of the actual helmet, it's just like a standard military helmet painted white on top of. So it's that to me looks like kind of a callback or a connect to like those little cadet training. Because he was training to be a stormtrooper, right? He was undercover.
Yeah.
Ezra was. So that's probably probably why that relates. Let's see.
And don't they make like a? Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but don't they make like or Gregor makes a joke about how their armor isn't as good, or is that from a different? Am I thinking of something from Rebels? Maybe. It might be.
No, I don't think he makes a reference. I don't think he makes a reference to that here.
It might be something from Rebels, like when those guys are going up against stormtroopers and they're like, oh, that armor's wasn't as good as our old clone armor or something. I forget what it was. Maybe that's something from Rebels.
It sounds familiar.
What was I gonna say? Oh, dang it, my mind's going. I can't think. Oh, I just loved the look of this episode, like that's when they were out on that little cliff and they like look out over like the world.
Yeah,
it just looks so good. it's such like
there's so much
step
detail,
up from, like the old Clone Wars stuff. Like it's so detailed and rich, and like it's just watching this episode, I was like, man, it looks so good. Like the animation has gotten such like a high level now.
Yeah,
like
it's amazing they're able to crank out this many episodes at this level of quality.
Yeah, it's like movie quality, and like and I one thing, and I like I said, I didn't watch as much Clone Wars, but in this episode and the second episode with Hera, where they do the rescue and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I love it's almost like.
Oh, 1 second. Sorry.
Is that you?
My phone's
Uncle Rick,
my phone's
maybe
connected to sometimes my phone automatically connects to my Roadcaster. Hello,
Justin.
Uncle Rick. Hi, it's
hey,
Uncle Rick.
Buddy, how are you? How you doing tonight, buddy? How you doing? All right? You okay? You over there?
I'm good.
Fun time?
Yeah, where you caught us again. We're doing another Dad Wars episode as you're calling right now.
Oh my goodness! Hold on, Bernice. Fire up the Dell because I think they got a show going on. Yeah, Justin, got a show going on. We're going to turn it on, okay, buddy? Hey,
Okay.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. Should I turn my radio down?
You say that. You've said that every time you've called, but I love it. I love it. Let me see.
Who are you doing the show with tonight? Who's on the show? I guess we'll see in a moment, won't we?
Well, yeah, turn it on. You're not going to believe who I have with me here tonight.
Okay, hang on a second. Bernie, what is it? Is it on MySpace?
No, it's on YouTube, Uncle Rick.
YouTube. All right. Oh,
Yeah.
I think we bookmarked that. That's the term for computers. There we go. Okay. Oh, there. Oh my goodness, you got Dan Haggerty on the show. Really, Adam.
No,
it's
that's
still out though.
that's Raymond from Fort Lauderdale.
That's not Ray. There's no way that's him.
It is. He's got a full beard. His hair's long.
Look, what is? Where is he? Is he in some sort of a disco? He's also red. What's going on there?
I think he explained it earlier. He's in his stepson's room, and
Okay.
he's kind of upped his game here. Look at this.
Look
thing.
at that. Look at that, Uncle Rick.
Oh my goodness, that's some luscious hair right there, man. I gotta admit, I'm a little jealous. In my youth, I had hair that luscious. It was very thick and golden, and I was sort of an Adonis around the neighborhood. To be honest with you, some people would call me Samson because I had such great hair.
I bet they
what
did.
is he? Oh my gosh! Now there's all sorts of lights moving around. He is at a disco.
Ray,
He's
pick one. Ray, pick one. There we go.
You could hey, better watch out. You might run into the Bee Gees. You never know. I love those guys.
All these timely references from Uncle Rick.
Hey, I'm up to the scene with the verbiage.
Yeah, you are hip.
What are you talking about tonight on your show?
Well, we're talking about the Bad Batch season 1 episode 14 right now. It's called War-Mantle. Are you all caught up with that, Uncle Rick?
I am not. And to be honest, I don't know what you're talking about. I thought you talked about Star Wars, but now you're talking about some show. What is it, the A-Team? What's happening here?
It's you could kind of say it's like the A-Team. It's a great. I don't even. Ray, how do you explain this to someone who hasn't seen any Star Wars movies beyond the holiday special? He's seen A New Hope.
Oh no! Hey, hold on. We need a little correction here.
Okay.
So I saw the Star Wars,
the first,
and then I saw the holiday special, and then I saw the Empire Strikes Back, and then there was one after that. I did see that. And then I saw it took me a long time to come around to that one because it wasn't as joyful as the holiday special, but the Empire Strikes Back's got some nice things. Then there's the one about the Jedi. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi, 1980.
Yeah, that's correct.
3.
That's what it's called. And then there were 3 more they made years later that I saw on, I don't know, it was on one of the pay cable stations, the HBO or the Cinemax had it on there. They were all right, but it's a case of bad casting. I would have recast the whole thing differently, but we've discussed that, I believe.
Well, I don't know. Wait, you would recast which one again? I'm sorry, Uncle Rick. I was having a little technical trouble.
Well, for my money, you want to cast someone who's got a complexity to their soul and their delivery and their demeanor in the role of Luke's dad. And that should have been the one and only Broadway's favorite son, Matthew Broderick. This guy, he does it all.
Yeah.
He's incredible. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I own an autographed copy of The Freshman, starring Mr. Broderick himself. He signed it.
In what format? VHS? He covered the box art of the VHS?
Oh, we've talked about this already. Yeah.
I was just guessing.
Yeah.
I was guessing.
Oh, no. Hey, good. Excuse me. Kreshkin's on the phone, Bernie. He's guessing everything. Hold on, Bernie. Yeah, use your inhaler. If you can't breathe. Yeah. All right. Okay. You're okay? All right. It's a natural blue. You look nice. But anyway, so, gosh, I'm amazed at how great Ray looks just like Dan Haggerty. I swear to God, I feel like a giant bear is going to pop up behind him, and they're going to hug. You know what I mean? Like just a man in nature.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
For the kids at home, Dan Haggerty was an actor. I don't know if he's still with us, but he passed
away a couple years ago.
He was such a nice, gentle soul, and he was on a show called. Something. Grizzly Adams. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on that show. And if there's kids watching and you want to know more about him, you can use a format called Ask Jeeves, and that'll answer all your questions for Dan Haggerty.
Before I trimmed my beard, Uncle Rick, I looked even more like him, but I trimmed a little bit, so it's not as bad. But the hair is definitely Grizzly Adams hair right now.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you, just looking at here on a computer screen, I'll tell you 2 things. You look good and healthy, and number 2, you look tiny. But that might just be the screen. I'm having a hard time with depth perception.
He's a full size man. He's he's in a little window.
Well, that's good to hear.
Now. Yeah.
Yeah, eat your vegetables, and that's the best thing that could happen. So tell me about the show you're talking about. What is this about?
So it's the continuing story of, if you know of the prequels, like there was the original trilogy, and then George Lucas went back with Lucasfilm and made the prequel. So we see how Darth Vader became Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's the one that Matthew Broderick should have been in. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and we see a young like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we see how it all began for this quote-unquote Skywalker saga. Anyway, these clones were introduced because I don't know if you remember, but in A New Hope, Obi-Wan refers to the Clone Wars, or Luke and Luke are talking about the Clone Wars, and so now we get to meet the clones. Well, there was the Clone War, and then now the Clone War's over, and the Empire's taken over, and now there are these special clones who are trying to get away from the newly formed Galactic Empire, and this is the story of their survival. And
hang on a second, you were talking about this show, I believe, a while back. It might have been the first time that I called, because your Aunt Bernice and I were excited. We saw you were online because, through a friend of a friend, a little birdie told us you were doing a show. So we checked in and we saw it. But I believe you had, they all have, they're like stormtroopers, but they're kind of gray, right? Their armor's gray.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
There's,
I'm going to, based on what I saw briefly on your show, I'm going to call this one dead on arrival, because first off, no effort was gone into the artwork, because all their faces look pretty much the same. And that's just lazy. That's a level of laziness on the artist's part. You gotta differentiate characters. Otherwise, you're just looking at like, hey, my God, they all look alike. I'm confused. Who's who? So
yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, that could be one criticism, but also you could also say, chalk it up to, hey, they're clones, so they're all going to look alike.
Okay, you turned me around on that one. That was a way to pivot. That, really, now I understand it a little better, and now I'm a little more interested, because that makes sense why they look alike. Okay.
Yeah, Disney's not gonna. They've got deep pockets. They're gonna spare no expense on the details. So I meant to say Disney bought Lucasfilm. I don't know how 2012. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
So that's
all right.
And we're seeing a lot more Star Wars now.
Well, and also, Uncle Rick, you know who Boba Fett is, right? From Star Wars.
He was in the holiday special in the cartoon. Yeah, I know that guy. He was good in that.
So there's like a little girl in the Bad Batch that's basically Boba Fett's like little sister.
Wow, there's a lot I really need to dive into here. A lot of digesting mentally that has to happen. Wow. So maybe, let me ask you this. Did the show just start? Is it just starting now?
No, we're actually, episode 15 airs tomorrow. It's the penultimate episode of this first season of The Bad Batch, so we're expecting
Justin, I don't think you can use that kind of language anymore. I don't think you can say that word
Uncle Rick, anymore. Penultimate just means second before last.
Hey, there's a thing going around that's called canceling, and I just worry that's going to happen to you if you keep talking like that. So just please watch what you say, okay? Just,
right,
safety first.
I appreciate
Hands at 10 and 2, all times.
10 and 2.
So maybe what I'll do is I'll take a look at this episode. It's on tomorrow, you say?
Yeah, it's actually on. It's on at midnight Pacific Standard Time, so 3 a.m. our time. I won't be up for it, but I'll get up at like 5:30 in the morning and watch it. But yeah. Do you have Disney Plus, Uncle Rick? Do you have Disney Plus? I can't imagine.
Oh, I don't know. We get about 853 channels on this box. I don't know how many. It might be on there. I pay for so much. Also, too, and I don't know if I should be talking about this out loud, but let's be honest. Who's going to listen to me, right? I knew a guy in the local 622. Yeah. And he was able to get me a little extra something on a box there. I don't want to say your Aunt Bernice is close. I don't want to say too much, but sometimes we get some naughty channels on there late at night, and that's a little fun to watch. But I don't watch it for long because then I get sleepy. Anyway, I don't know. I should probably maybe check out this show and and then let you know what I think about it.
I give you my login credentials, but I don't know if we can. I don't think we can do that. I don't think that's.
Well, maybe Uncle Rick have any grandkids? I'm sure they probably have it on his TV. The grandkids probably come over and maybe left it on there.
Well, Ray, I appreciate you saying that. Unfortunately, Bernice and I have never really been able to have kids. She's barren, and I spite her for it occasionally. But I've worked through that with therapy. Well, I say therapy; it's usually just sort of sledgehammering a drywall. But that's why Justin's always been like a kid to me. He's like a son to me, and I love him dearly. And Bernice loves him dearly. And we're so excited he's doing this. He's gone big time Hollywood now with this show, the Dad Wars, and that's we always knew someday he'd bright lights, big city, Michael J. Fox. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, good reference. I appreciate that. I love Michael J. Fox. I'm
actually just looking at my VHS shelf right now, and it's on there. Not autographed, unfortunately. But I do have, oddly enough, in the Michael J. Fox section on my shelf next to it, I have A Light of Day, starring him in one Miss Joan Jett. And she autographed that. I got that autograph, too.
Oh, gosh. You got Joan Jett's autograph.
I did. Somebody I knew in the local 420, he knew someone in her security team, and she was coming to Chicago, and she was doing a show, and he got it signed for me. So.
It really is. It's a world of who you know, not what you know, isn't it, Uncle Rick?
Go with the unions. That's what I always say. If you're not in a union, why are you alive? You know what I mean? That's all I got to say. Unions are your friends. Listen, I've taken up too much of your time. You guys, I want you to get back on your show, and then maybe Bernice and I will make some popcorn and sit here and watch the rest of it.
Tell her we said hi. Send her our best, and we hope for a speedy recovery. I know she's always got kind of a list of maladies at any given time. She's got a few irons in the fire in terms of chronic illnesses and whatnot. So we wish her the best. And what do you guys think? You'll curl up on the couch tonight, watch the show? I mean, besides after this, because we're going to wrap up here pretty soon. But what do you think you're going to watch and fall asleep to, Uncle Rick?
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes you can catch a rerun of Three's Company, which I love because I'll tell you something. That Larry on Three's Company, comedy genius. That guy, I don't know why he never got his own show. We might do that, or we'll put on something, light and breezy that we can really just sort of relax to. All the President's Men is a good one to do that too. The Parallax View with Warren Beatty.
Those are
just something light.
Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
How about Deer Hunter? Are you gonna watch Deer Hunter next, or?
Oh well, my feelings about the Vietnam War. That's a tough one for me to watch, so I can't.
Sorry, Uncle Rick, that was insensitive. I apologize.
No, hey, you're fine. Just don't use that other word you used about talking about your show, because I don't want you to get canceled.
Oh, penultimate.
Listen, you kids, get back to your show. You have your fun. We're gonna watch you. Ray, you take care of yourself, and you just keep growing those luscious locks of yours. You're you're probably in the pages of Tiger Beat right now. I would not doubt it. That's how handsome he is right now, man.
I think Uncle Rick thinks we're still like in our late teens, early 20s. Rick, we're well into our 40s.
Well, to me, you're always going to be youngsters, and that's just actual age fact. You're going to be younger than me. Justin, your Aunt Bernice and I love you dearly. We wish
Uncle
you
Rick.
and the family the best, and I will talk to you soon. All right?
Thank you, Uncle Rick. Hey, Uncle Rick.
Yeah.
May the force be with you.
I don't know if you caught that or not.
I caught that. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, my friend. All right. Oh, that was okay. I'm gonna go now because you got something's happening with my eyes. All right, you guys, you have a great night, and may the force be with you as well. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, Uncle Rick. Bye.
Uncle Rick.
Always a pleasure.
He should watch a couple episodes, and I'd like to see what Uncle Rick's take.
Oh man, I can't wait. I hope he just jumps right in. Do you think he'll start at the beginning, or will he just like?
I don't know.
Either way, it's going to be entertaining. So yeah, so looking ahead, we'll wrap it up here in just a sec. But looking ahead, the penultimate episode historically, right? The second to last episode of any season or series of a show is usually just all action, or like the whole story comes together, and then usually the last episode is more of like the, what is the word, denouement. It's the like the whole resolution and the, you know, at the end of Return of the King, it was all like the second one, Two Towers, was all action. The Return of the King, like it had 5 endings, right? So
5 is cutting it short, I think.
Like another example, real quick. Think about Breaking Bad, right? That second to last episode. That's that's a penultimate episode. So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen tomorrow?
I think it's going to be, well, I know for sure it's like most of the, like, pretty much I think every season of Rebels is has been a 2-parter in the end, and I think I read that it's going to be like part 1 and part 2, so it's going to be like a big episode. I like with this show, I never know what's coming next, which is one of the things I love about it. Like, you don't really know where it's going. The characters are so new, to us that, even I can't even guess what's going to happen. I'm guessing. I think if I had to guess over the next 2 episodes, I think
who dies?
Don't know if,
who dies? Who dies?
I think Crosshair dies. I don't think any of the Bad Batch die. I think Crosshair. I don't think he survives. But I don't know. I who knows? I'm bad at like guessing this stuff, but I did like what like you and Aaron were saying, or Aaron said, or you guys said that.
I'll take credit.
That they the one on Camino. When you think that one guy's, you're waiting, like you're waiting
don't
to hear like when the door closed, you're waiting to hear the shots, and I think one of you guys said that maybe that clones have a backup where they can't, that they stay loyal to the Empire, but if they ever ask them to go against them,
that's
they're like,
right.
oh, we're not going to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
that's right.
I wonder if that's like
a kill switch. That was Aaron. That was all Aaron. But yeah, I think. Yeah, they're not. Those were clones. Those those weren't the new troopers, were they? The elite troopers that follow Crosshair around. I think they were just reg clones. The regs.
I think so. They look like they had like clone helmets, but
in that case, he's still alive.
Yeah, and like I'm wondering, and maybe that's what triggered. Like I was saying before, the clone uprising. Maybe that's what leads to that. Maybe it's like an order from him to survive, to get out. Like he sets that off to, get out of there, so I don't know. Like, but the one thing I was going to say is from this episode, what I liked. And like, I also kind of noticed it in the episode with Hera, the second episode with Hera.
Okay.
Is I love whenever they show the Marauder like flying.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you're watching it, it feels like a video game, or it looks real cartoony to see the planes fly around. They don't feel like they have any weight to it. And the Marauder, like the way they film it and make it move and stuff, you really feel like the weight. Like,
feel the weight of it?
Yeah. When they go this way and go this way and dive down, it's like they animate that really well. Like they really make, like, better than pretty much anything I can remember on Star Wars. I like even the movies. Like you just feel it more, for me at least. I don't know. I love how they animate that stuff. And there's like that one, like I said, there's that one little scene and it was Tech flying in that episode with Hera when they were like attacking at night, and he's like, hold on, and he like dives down, and it's like, and he slams on the brake and pulls back up. It was like such like a cool move in it. And there's like a lot of that in this episode when he took over. And it's flying around and like cutting left and right and stuff and diving and going up. Like
he's a darn good pilot, isn't he?
You could really, like I said, the way they animate that, like you really feel like you almost feel it, like as they're flying.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really, like I said, I think it's the best I remember seeing, like of like any kind of Star Wars movie or TV show that I can remember.
Yeah,
like,
he pulled off some moves in this episode 14 that were just spectacular. Like he's the guy. He's the guy. He's like he's their best pilot for sure.
I could go back and watch that little scene over and over just because how cool it looks and feels. But he has like a funny line when he takes over for Omega. I can't remember what it is, like, but there's like a funny little line he says, like, that won't be necessary. But I can't remember what he says. It was really, really
yeah,
cool.
pretty much. Yeah, it's like I've got it from here. Yeah, You've helped like enough or something like that. But
in tech speak, it was really cool. But I think that's everything I could think of from the episode. I'm excited to see where it goes. Like I said, we only have a few hours, which is crazy. Hopefully my internet's back by then so I can watch it.
Yeah.
Did you want me to show them that?
Yeah, let's see that you've got a little something cool going on there.
A friend of mine sent me this. It's when you work at Disney, I think, was it once a week they do it, or is it once a month? I think it's once a month, right?
Yeah, I don't remember it being every week.
They have a thing. It's called Eyes and Ears, and it's like a backstage little magazine that just talks about, it's like
a
maybe,
cast member newsletter, but
but
it's
like
fancier.
Well, it's like kind of glossy.
It's like a magazine.
It's nicely done, but it's like only like maybe 10 pages or something. It's not very many pages.
Oh, that's true. It's like it's like a brochure. It's a glorified brochure.
I guess they came out with when Galaxy's Edge opened, which is funny because it's 8/29. It's my birthday. 8/29 is my birthday. And that's when Galaxy's Edge opened a few years ago. But I guess this is like the cast member, like, cool thing.
That is super cool.
Like, it has all the stuff, and it's actually like a thicker one than normal. It's like probably like 20 pages. I don't know, but I haven't really looked at it too much. But a friend of mine said she had it and was going to get rid of it, and she sent it to me because I said I would take it. So I thought that was a neat little, and like the little
that's
Falcon,
awesome.
It's like, it's like raised and stuff. So it looks really cool. I just thought I would show that off. I'm sure plenty of Disney people have this. But
Greg James, if Greg James is listening to this, can you save me yours, please?
Hopefully he has a pile of them, but maybe Greg's like, I don't save that stupid crap.
I'd love to get some scoops from Greg, but I don't want to put his job in jeopardy. But he's very close to that project.
Yeah. Well, I guess you and Aaron can talk about that.
So
that stuff that just came out about that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So that's what we'll do. So Saturday, Eloise and I will do our Bounty Edition, and we have a couple things in store, clone related and Bad Batch related. But then we have our weekly Reckoning, which we moved to Sunday night. So Aaron will be on, and we're gonna take a deep dive and we've aggregated all the info for the new Galaxy Starship, the hotel, the Star Wars hotel, is call it commonly, but I'm sure there are a lot of people a lot more info than we have, but we're going to just try to do our homework and pull it all together and just talk about it and speculate. Commercial dropped yesterday for it, right? You saw that?
And I don't know if you remember this back in the day when we were in Fort Lauderdale. I said, it wasn't Star Wars, but I said they should do like a Star Trek version of that. They should do like a hotel that when you go to it, I don't know if you remember me talking about it, but I was like, wouldn't that be a cool idea?
Yeah, don't they have an Epcot? I'm sorry. Don't they have Don't they have one in Vegas, like a Star Trek?
Yeah, they did one later, but it was my idea first. They just stole it from my brain. I'm just kidding. But like I remember talking about that. That was like, wouldn't that be cool if they did like an immersive thing and blah blah blah? But they actually did. Yeah, they have it. I think it's in Vegas somewhere. But what was I going to say before we go?
Man,
yeah, are we going to do tomorrow's episode tomorrow or Saturday?
That's a good question.
Well, let me know. It's okay. Either way. Hopefully we have good internet and I can try to use
Keep me posted on the internet. I'll keep you posted on my personal bandwidth and that.
No, it'll be good. It's just like I said, they're fixing it. It should be good by tomorrow, hopefully tonight. But yeah, we should be good. And everyone out there, if you want something fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, wait, hold on. Let me introduce this segment. So this is the part of the show that people love, and Luis told me that you should keep doing this forever. But Ray will just offer a kind of a non sequitur show that's generally not related to Disney or Star Wars, and he'll just throw it out there. All right, what do you got? Hit us with it. Are you okay?
I just got like a cramp.
Oh no, he cramped up.
Yeah.
I should have just let you go.
I was gonna say non like kiddie good for kids is I just finished season 4 of Gomorrah, which is an Italian like mafia show. It's amazing. If you have HBO, please watch Gomorrah. It's the best show ever. But if you want something fun for your kids, and I think I mentioned it before, check out on Netflix. It's a show called Troll Hunters, and
We're talking Troll Hunters again.
It's so good. It's so good. Me and Lucas have been rewatching it, and I'm almost done with the third season of Troll Hunters. And then they have another show that's like in the same universe that's created by him. It's called Three Below, and it's like in the same universe, but it's like with aliens, and it's like the same town with some of the same characters, and it all kind of ties together. And then they have another one that's called, I think it's called Wizards, and they have one season of that. I think Three Below has 2 seasons. Wizards has 1, and then they just came out with like a Troll Hunters movie, like a full Troll Hunters movie, just came out on Netflix. And so me and my stepson have been watching it. We rewatched Troll Hunters, and then now he's watching Three Below. And I'm catching up on that, but it's amazing. The storytelling's great. The characters are great. The animation's great. If you want to watch something fun that kind of has that like, kind of like Clone Wars, but a little more lighthearted and funny. But Troll Hunters is great. It's just so good. So check out Troll Hunters. I've been trying to get Justin to watch it with the girls. I think they would love it. I think he would love it.
If we have a minute together, we will.
Yeah, it's so good. The Star Wars thing I think I talked about before is the Droid Tales on Disney Plus is a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of like non-Disney stuff. What have I been watching lately? I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of anything right now, but just Gomorrah. I kind of flew through season 4 of Gomorrah.
Yeah.
This past couple of days.
Can I make a recommendation that's not Star Wars related? Mythic Quest, which you told me to watch on Apple Plus.
Did you finish season 2 yet?
No, I might try to get an episode in before bed. Although it's really
Did you watch?
It's so good.
Episode 5 yet?
I just watched Poppy Lee get invited to speak at a at a thing. This Poppy Lee character is just the best. I just love this character so much.
So you haven't watched the one with the personality test yet?
I don't think so. I'll try to get to it.
You'll know it because that's like one of my favorite episodes from season 5. But the whole thing, definitely watch. Definitely watch Mythic Quest. It's an amazing show. If you like, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's some of the same people created that show, created this one, and Mac from It's Always Sunny is like one of the main characters, and there's a couple other people.
Luis says Gamora he thinks Gamora is also a movie.
There's there's a character for Gamora that they did like a movie, a one-off movie with that character. That's one of the characters from Gamora that kind of goes into his history. One of the main characters. I don't want to say too much because it'll give away about the show. But yeah, there is. It's called the Immortal, and that's the character in the show. You have to get subtitles, but I haven't watched that yet because I wanted to finish season 4, and I'm going to watch that. And I think they're doing one more season that they're filming right now, or maybe they finished, and it should be hopefully out next year, which will be the final season. But
yeah,
it's like The Sopranos, but with no humor. It's like cutthroat, and it's like amazing. Like Sopranos, like filmed by Michael Mann with a really cool. Oh, that was.
Here we go. Now he's on a roll, guys. This is where the fun begins.
I did notice there is something I noticed in the Bad Batch.
This is where the fun begins.
Is at the end when Hunter and Crosshair like go face to face.
Yeah.
When it fades out, there's almost like an 80s like music cue.
There's like a weird music cue, right? Like a screaming guitar or something, like a.
It's like almost like something from like a Carpenter film, it has like that like it's like like a guitar or like a
It's
a
like
keyboard.
just like a stinger, like a little music stinger, like a little something.
It just reminded me of like an '80s what's the movie, like Scarface, almost like a Scarface little cue there at the end. I thought
Yeah,
was
I wonder
really,
what that cue is. I wonder what that's. I feel like I've heard that before, but maybe it's
I don't
because
know.
I've heard it in '80s shows or movies. But
I thought that was really cool. I was like, whoa, that's something different. You know,
Yeah.
it's not typical of your Star Wars stuff. But okay, yeah.
hey, let's
so
listen.
Gamora,
Hey, hold on.
Louise-
Let's hear it.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I got it queued up. I got the cue queued. Yeah, we got so engrossed in conversation, I forgot we could have been like, well, you can't see today anyway. You're flying blind today. It wouldn't have helped. Might have helped the viewers though, but that's okay. Let's see if I can
Get that. I just thought that was so cool.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It stood out to me the second time I watched it.
All right, let's see if I can pull it up, and then let's see if we can not get a copyright
Get
strike.
flagged. It's only like 5 seconds, so it should be okay.
Advanced audio properties. Live, folks. I'm so okay. That's right. I've been playing like the Bad Batch theme for an hour and a half behind us, like as we're talking. I don't know if you heard it or not. I hope it didn't bother anybody. I had it down really low, but I think it helps. I feel like it helps. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can not get a copyright strike here.
I figured you'd show up.
I'm going to pause it just for a second. All right.
I was hoping for the whole squad, but you'll do.
Whoa!
It's like it's like right out of Scarface or something. You know
I wonder if
mean?
that's Crosshair's like signature. Like,
I
is
don't
that
know.
his
I don't
little?
feel like I don't think I've heard it before, but maybe I have. I was like, wow, that's really like not typical of Star Wars stuff. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
it's really cool. I thought that was like,
let's hear it again.
it's so awesome. I love it.
Dude, I think you called it. Now look, we can look right here. Yeah, these are. All right, now if these are the new like elite clone troopers that are not clones, you know, Crosshair's sidekicks that are in there with Lama Su, then he's toast.
Yeah. I don't know if they are or not though.
Minimum Wage says Disney just sold the chat section of Dad Wars. My gosh. We're a hot commodity. We're moving and shaking. All right, let's see. And then we'll let everybody go. We'll let all 5 people go, or 2, however many. I think we're doing better, though, technically, from a technical standpoint. I
mean, I've been able to
are
monitor, but ever since you got the new computer, like last week was like flawless technically.
Those days are.
Or the last one you did with Aaron, it looked really good.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the podcast, I was able, as soon as I hit stop streaming, I was able to pull the audio right away. Usually, the episodes we've done before, it takes days for it to process. But now it's like processing in real time so that we can pull audio right away. All right, hold on a second here.
It's okay. Good. Oh, Luis, I'm gonna have to like take notes and so I can save my little thing at the end and give because right now I'm drawing a blank because I have like Gamora on the head on my brain right now because that's all I've been watching. But I'm trying. I can't. I've been watching It's Always Sunny. Went back and started watching some of that recently. There's another Apple show called Physical. That's pretty good too. That's a good show.
Oh, is that with Rose Byrne?
Yeah, I really like it. It's
She's
really
amazing.
Cool.
The first thing I ever remember seeing her in was 28 Weeks Later.
Oh, I didn't even know she was in that.
Yeah, she's great. Let's investigate.
Like,
we need to investigate. What is that?
It's like something from like it's Big Trouble in Little China. Who's that? That he did his own music. What's that director that did that movie?
Oh shit.
John Carpenter. Remember he used to do his own soundtracks and it had like really weird.
Yeah.
80s vibe to it. It reminds me of that.
Well, did you say Halloween a few minutes ago or no?
Oh, I didn't. But yeah, it does seem like something from Halloween. Did someone else put that in the chat? Maybe.
No, but you said John Carpenter and he did his own music.
Yeah.
And that's the same.
Did he do Halloween?
Yeah.
I never was a big Halloween person.
I'm not either.
The new one was good. The new one that Danny McBride wrote is really good.
Is it really?
But yeah. I don't know.
I just don't like seeing people get systematically killed.
I know you don't like
that
scary
stuff.
movies, but I'm more into scary movies than you are. But
I like thrillers, psychological thrillers, and like Cabin in the Woods. I kind of like that. Anything
good.
Unique, and like the Jordan Peele stuff. I like his stuff too.
But yeah, you would.
But yeah,
the only reason I watched that new Halloween is because Danny McBride and his partner wrote it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have watched it, but it's good. It's a good movie. Like, they did a good job, and it's an interest. It has a couple little things you can kind of see. A couple little funny parts, but it's pretty straightforward movie. But it's good, and like I said, I wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for him. But
yeah,
I'm more into scary. I'll watch anything. So
yeah. All right. On that note, people are probably tired of watching us. So, we'll be around. I guess
either
few
tomorrow
times
or Sunday, or I don't know, or Saturday maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, enjoy episode 15 tomorrow, and text me as soon as you watch it. No spoilers, of course.
All right.
Well,
thanks everybody for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, but I'm sure everybody already has subscribed. But
share with your
hit
friends.
The little like button.
And word of mouth is the only way we're getting subscribers right now. We got a couple more this week. I wanted to look up to see who it was, but I didn't get a chance to. But thanks to anybody who's still following us at this point. And we're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. So, all right. And Ray,
bye for now.
May the force be with you.
Bye for now. Bye.
Bye. That's the way.
Dad Wars.